And I'm walking different, talking different. Loved ones see the difference. I'm untalkative and distant. I guess I'm seeing true colors. Stealing this for suckers. Deport the Jerry Hellers and the Busters. Salute the good fellas and the hustlers.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Dandada. Listen, it's Wednesday, but you're going to see this Friday. I got Rob K with me, MLW Confusion, Urban Wrestling Network. Y'all know what it is. Now, we actually got some MLW news. Surprising, right? But when we got it, I wasn't sure how I felt. I threw it in our chat, and I was like, this better not replace Kenta, because I'd be pissed off as all hell if this fucking guy comes in and replaces Kenta. TJP, now, I'm not shitting on TJP. Talented brother. We know his work from Suicide and Impact Wrestling or TNA, coming into MLW, going into WWE. He won some purple blue belt. I forgot what it was called. I know it was
Cruiserweight Championship, the revamped Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, and it was on some weird show that didn't last, right?
It lasted for a while, 205 Live.
Okay. So I'm wrong. So he did his thing. We see him in MLW. He goes to New Japan. He's back in MLW for, what's it called, Summer of the Beast?
Yeah, I believe that's what it is.
This sounds like if Vince McMahon has a part in MLW for some reason, because it is a weird-ass sounding pay-per-view, but Summer of the Beast, TJP, back in MLW. What do you got?
I mean, on paper, just name value and match quality alone, I'm down for it. As you put out, TJP is a great professional wrestler, 20 years of experience, has experience in MLW as well, but has traveled the world since like the age of like 15, perfecting his craft. And so like on that is great. The thing where I start side-eyeing it, of course, because this is MLW and we can't have nice things as much as MLW is my baby, of course. But they brought him in. They're bringing him in as an alternate for the Opera Cup, and to announce that puts kind of like a weird cloud over the rest of the Opera Cup. Because now he's an alternate, and like alternates are fine, I think, in the first round of things. But once you get after the first round, just start giving people buys. But like part of me goes like, okay, well that means someone's getting taken out. The question is going to be who, and like you're worried that Kenta it's going to be Kenta, and I think that one like would cause a riot just because he's been advertised already. Like, unless they find like a way around, like still have giving him like a match and then something happens, like maybe. But like if they just go like, oh no, Kenta's been beaten by Contra and we don't see his face during the beating, like that's going to cause a riot because I do think people are buying tickets to see Kenta. However, like in my head, I'm going along the lines of either Akira is taken out, which saddens me because like he's my pick to win. But like I can see Contra like he's had issues with Contra, so I could see like him getting a beatdown somewhere along the line. And I mean,
on the last show, he did just get beat down too.
Yeah, he's been beat down a handful of times by Contra. So like it's not like so storyline it does make sense. It just makes me sad because again that just busted my bracket right there. I do think like if we're going to start ranking the scenarios, I think that's scenario number one. Scenario number two, at least in my head, is Mr. Saint Laurent dealings, because right now in round two we have Filthy Tom Lawler taking on Davey Boy Smith Jr. and I could see Saint Laurent being like, no, I don't want my guys touching each other, and so that way like WTF doesn't have to fight each other in the tournament. And we have however it's spun, like just MSL's like, no, I'm not doing we're not doing this. Funny walk and jiggling, and but I got something better, and even that we could play off more storylines off that, because like you take Davey Boy Smith out of it, and he's like, what? Why am I taken out of this? Like I want to be a 3-time Opera Cup winner.
Yeah.
Or Filthy Tom. Dude, what is this? Like, I'm a former world champion and a former Opera Cup winner too. Why can't I have the Opera Cup? And then it can lead to like further like downfall within WTF ranks.
So you're saying that TJP slides in one of their spots.
Yeah, like that's my number 2 scenario in my head. Like if I was part of creative, like that's my armchair booking on that, because that way, like WTF is in this weird spot where like it exists, but it's like a real shit. Like not that it was ever held in high esteem, despite it like having like the greatest collection of talent in history somehow. But they like it's in a weird spot where like a lot of their folks like have dropped out. You know, we don't have Zeta, we don't have BRG, whether he was a full member or not. Holiday's gone. Josh Bishop has not been seen for a bit. AJ
he just pulled up on Impact.
Yeah, AJ Francis like is technically still with MLW, but they said like he's had a falling out with Mr. Saint Laurent, so him and Bulldog are getting match. Like so like they're in this like weird spot where there's like not a whole lot of meat left to it, and so I could see this being a play to kind of like further like push its downfall. But that's like still number 2. I still think in my head they're probably just going to take Akira out and plug in TJP and have like a faux dream match between Kenta and TJP.
See, when you said it, I was like, oh shit, Kenta TJP should be insane, right? Like that's a great matchup. But the breakdown between WTF, I'm like, what a way to do it, right? Like I love the first idea until you said the second idea, and now I think
the second idea is more entertaining, but I feel like the first idea is more likely to happen.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, I'm a fan of both. I like both ideas, but I'm so leaning to the second one because I really want to see Filthy Tom kind of do his own thing again outside of I would say Bomaye, if I go outside of WTF, because Filthy Tom is just way too talented to be behind somebody.
Yeah.
You know
but
the
funny thing is like I actually like as much as I'm not a fan of MSL, I feel like Filthy Tom fits like the WTF concept to a T. he is the guy who will go all in on it and make it extra entertaining. Where like Bulldog, like Davey Boy Smith Jr. has tried, but like he just doesn't like outside of accolades. Like he doesn't quite. He's a little too serious and stiff, and doesn't kind of meet the vibe of WTF. Like he can be goofy. Like I've seen him do comedy stuff, especially with the Heart Foundation days in early MLW. But like his vibe for comedy is different than what WTF is going for. So like I'm okay with Filthy Tom staying in WTF, and like even though he doesn't need it. Just because he is that like over the top bombastic personality who is willing to do stuff.
This is where I think it was a miss with the WTF too, is because I think BRG with his Kenergy kind of thing and his flamboyantness, he fits in perfect.
Yeah,
like you said, Filthy Tom fits in perfect. Josh Bishop did not fit.
No, he was really entertaining with Tom Lawler.
Yeah, but
they're tight.
He's way too like aggressive for that. Richard Holiday didn't fit in. And like you said, what's the other? Davey Boy Smith Jr. He don't really fit in. So you're like, what do I do here? I'm a fan of both ideas. I think both ideas are super dope. I think TJP versus Kenta will be really, really big, especially in a New York crowd. So Bullet Club versus TJP, I'm all for that. I mean, hey, listen, at some point, we got to figure out what the hell this alternate shit is. To just throw it out with no context to me, that's what kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, and at least if nothing else, they did like put it out there that if he's not needed as an alternate, he does have an open contract. So they are like he's going to appear no matter what. The question is going to be so at least they backdoored something, at least quasi-logical. So we aren't necessarily 100% going like, yep, someone's getting injured.
You know what? Rob K, home run, knock that out the park. Like, subscribe, share, all that good shit. We got one more coming for you. It'll drop on Monday. So for us, enjoy your fucking weekend. I know I will be. So deuces.